Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. Well, it's not Dawn Busters. I was at dawn. This is a late morning taste challenge, and I was on the phone with my friend Paul. We were talking about all kind of political topics, which was fascinating. But I might do that video later. But that's another story. So anyway, for Fandango Friday, I plan to do a wine. Inexpensive wine, but I was thinking about Jean-Pierre. He talked about this wine, and I gave it a relatively poor score in 2017. And then I drank some this morning, and I said, either you didn't stand the wine and couldn't perceive it correctly, or they've improved it. Now, I don't know the answer. Perhaps they've improved it. I mean, there's a possibility. Either way it goes, I didn't pay a lot, so it doesn't matter whether they improved it or they didn't improve it. Okay. Oh, my nose. Hold on. Oh, it's so hot right now. I have to go cut the grass in a few minutes. It's incredibly hot. Believe me. And really, it's not the heat that'll make you pass out. If I go out there in 30 minutes and cut the grass, not the heat that's going to get me. It's the humidity. The humidity level is so high, and there's no breeze, no air. It's like still air. I went out there at 2:45 to get the paper, and it wasn't there yet. And I went out an hour later. But the air is just like, it's like that. You don't even see a leaf flutter. So when you got like extreme humidity and no breeze, and it's going to get to 94, that is a recipe for bad things, very bad things. But the grass won't cut itself. And it has been dry for about 6 days, so it's going to be crispy. Now, when the grass is hot and crispy, it cuts really easily. I mean, you can just blow through it. You say, well, I didn't watch this to get an update on lawn procedures. I know. I'm just telling you what the situation at hand is. So I wanted to do the taste challenge for the blended Scotch. Now, I did blended Canadian whiskey. And that was very exciting because Crown Royal did not do as well as I thought. Now, I thought Crown Royal was just going to destroy all the rest, but it didn't really turn out that way. It didn't wipe them out. It did well. I wouldn't say it justified the $23 a bottle price necessarily. Is Crown Royal worth $23 a bottle? I don't know. It's up to whatever you want to buy. You're certainly not hurting yourself if you buy it. It's a quality product. I have to admit that. It's distinctive because I only got it wrong once. I think I did 13. I have to check, but I think I did 13 taste challenges. It's close to that number, and I only got it wrong once. So say what you want about Crown Royal. It is distinctive. It has a unique flavor. And I'll be curious to try the other ones up the ladder because there are many Crown Royal variants, and some of them are extremely expensive, like the one I saw yesterday, the XR, I think it is, XR, extra rare, whatever that stands for, $135. Okay, but anyway, you say, why are you talking about all that? This is supposed to be blended Scotch. It's true, and that brings me to this point. So we have, well, actually two sort of like family-owned companies. We have McCleod Distilleries, and they make a line of Scotch called King Robert II. Now, someone told me, well, King Robert II started in the 70s or something like that. I said, well, I did some research, and I found out that I don't know when it was introduced. It's not a company. Never was a company. Simply a brand of gin, vodka, Scotch, rum. You know, you get those kind of things. A whole line of it. And I know that Ian McCleod Company acquired it in 1968. So for 52 years, they've made it. There's a 3-year age, which is what I've got. Bought this in Georgia 2 years ago with John and Neil A. It's $18.99. That's a great deal. $18.99 for this big bottle. Yeah, it's aged 3 years. It's not anything spectacular, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It says second to none. Well, yeah, right. Sure. This huge handle bottle is $18.99, $18.99, and it's second to none. You know as well as I do, that's a meaningless marketing. Even the people making the statement don't believe it. But whatever, you know, these companies do that all the time. The best chocolate milk in the world. All that. Okay. King Robert II was a Scottish king. Scotland and Great Britain have been united since 1603 by virtue of the monarch, because they have the same monarch since, what is it, 1603, right? Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth I died, and then King James VI of Scotland became King James II of England. King James I of England. So they had the same monarch, like Canada and England have the same monarch today. But then to make it more unified, they united the two countries in 1707 with the Act of Union, the Kingdom of Great Britain, the whole island, Scotland in the north, England and Wales in the south. And they made the Union flag. You know, the flag of England is the white flag with the red cross, and the flag of Scotland is the blue flag with the white cross, the X, and they put them together and made that. And then when they added Ireland, they had the little red X, the thin red X. Okay, now for that. So what does King Robert II have to do with this whiskey? Nothing, except that, you know, they use these names to promote the product. We all know how that works. There is a 12-year aged. I would like to try the 12-year aged. I bet you it's not $18.99 for a 1,500 milliliter bottle. 750 milliliter bottle. There is also it's called King Robert II Deluxe Blend, and it's a travel exclusive only. In other words, you can only buy it at those airport travel shops. And those are weird because you can't go to an airport travel shop, buy something and leave. You got to take it to another country. I don't really understand why that works or how it works, but I just know that you can't buy it unless you're going out overseas. We went to Mexico 2 years ago. No. We went to the Texas border a few feet from Mexico. My friend David and I. We went to those one of those duty-free shops. Oh, well, they had all kind of whiskey you never saw in your life. Gin, rum. And my friend David was like, look at this, look at that, look at this. I said, you can't just buy it. And the guy was like, yeah, you could buy it, and then we'll meet you at the border. Like what they do is they got this little, it's right, like literally on the border. And then you go through the gate, you pay your fee, which is like 35 cents to cross into Mexico. And then the guy will come around and hand you the bottle, and you can take it to Mexico and enjoy it. Well, it's like, I want to buy it so I can keep it here, you know? So it's a very strange thing. I don't understand the concept. I know it was started like in the 1940s after World War II or something. Like some company came up with this idea of travel exclusive duty-free liquors. I don't understand. All right, anyway, so that's King Robert II, age 3 years. Is it extraordinary? No. The price, I mean, I'm not upset I bought it. It's just a regular old blended Scotch whiskey, and You know, it's aged 3 years. It's probably 80% grain whiskey. There's about 20% single malts blended in. It tastes fine. I mean, it's going to say the same thing they all say. Only the finest single malt and grain Scotch whiskeys, long aged. I want to call 3 years long. It doesn't have an age statement, but on the website they say 3 years. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, the minimum is 3 years, and you notice I ain't past the minimum. So I could correct that. The result is a whiskey of top quality, which is renowned throughout the world. Yeah, like you know how every day you wake up and you hear people talking about King Robert II? Oh yeah, that's right, you don't. Yeah, it's renowned throughout the world. Anyway, here's the competitor. Grant's, established in 1887, distilled, matured, and blended in Scotland. Blended Scotch whiskey, the family reserve. Well, I bought this bottle, and then heck, if they didn't change it to now called Triple Wood, because the family reserve is aged and treated with different types of wood. So, family reserve, Triple Wood. But anyway, everybody just calls it Grant's. 5 generations of whiskey making, patiently crafted for a rich, smooth, and complex signature style. Yeah, I would have said something like a tolerable experience, but I'm not working for the company. It's okay. I mean, I got it for, I think they had it on sale, and I got this jug bottle for $21.99. Big handle bottle, triangular shaped bottle. No handle, but you know, they got grips on it. It's got grips. Jacob Downey says, yeah, leftover, rotted out, and molded up grains. That's probably not really the best approach that they could use. Okay, on with the show. Let's see. King Robert II. What did they say about it? They're going on and on. There's the 12-year single malt. Oh, it's a single malt, even more spectacular. And the travel retail exclusive, which I'll never see, I'm sure. No age stated. Oh, no age stated. I got to update my notes on this. Oh, well, that won't be difficult. It's a consistent and complex blend of first-class grain and malt whiskeys, all of which have been given time to mature. Well, yeah, they have to be given time to mature because that's the law. 3 years. Grant's. Many whiskeys take their flavor from just one cask, but we mature Grant's Triple Wood in 3 different types. Virgin oak cask provides spicy robustness. American oak lends subtle vanilla smoothness, and bourbon refill, sounds better than saying used bourbon barrels, bourbon refill offers brown sugar sweetness, resulting in a smoother, richer, mellower taste. Formerly family reserve. Okay, I'm not going to read the tasting notes because I don't want to color, so to speak, my challenge. Or that reads, only the worst twice rejected grains. Yeah, well, hey, you know, I'm not hating on these products. They're big glass bottles. I didn't pay too much, so I can't really say too much about it. Grant's. It says Grant's. Oh, I made a mistake. I was supposed to look it up on their website. I'm pretty introduced it in 1909. The company's older than the brand. Let's go back to this. Damn. My friend called me on the phone. He kind of distracted me. I ain't hating on it, though. I mean, I can't sit and say, I wish nobody would call me. I like when people call me. All right, let's say our story. Here we go. Oh, it's the same old stuff. Oh yeah, he got customers. Oh, he did all of this and that. Our craftsmen. Hell. They got a lot of expensive grants, yeah. It'd be a lot more than $21.99. I know that much. But this is the base model. Pretty sure I read 1909 somewhere. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The company was established in 1887. I used to know a man. We used to go eat dinner at their house. True story. We would eat there. And he was born in 1889. I was like a little, just a toddler almost, and he was old. 1889. Well, I'll just correct that. Doesn't matter. All right. But I can't think of any other Scotch I was looking at recently. I know it. All right. Okay. Now, well, I think it is King Robert. The King Robert is darker, amber, and the Grants is more golden. Let me check my little blog and see what I wrote about Grants. Then I'm gonna know. Grants. Okay, 1887. I could have been thinking of something else. Okay, well, whatever. I'll fix it. No problem. It's a long time ago, 133 years ago. Would I like to try all of them, including the 25-year age, which is probably $300 a bottle or whatever? Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to be vice president of the world, but nobody's called me yet. Okay. So Grants is lighter. Okay. I'm going to have to close my eyes because I don't want to corrupt the taste challenge by glancing at it. King Robert II, my experience, it's okay. It's actually, it's good. I mean, it's not terrible. To sit there and sip on it and talk about how horrible it is, I don't see that. Now, would the 25-year age, I'm sorry, the 12-year age single malt be better? I think we kind of know the answer to that question. But there's two problems. Number one, I've never seen it. Number two, I've never seen King Robert II of any type around here. I can't even get the base model. So, you know, Grants. Oh yeah, everybody sells Grant. Winn-Dixie, Mathern's, Walmart. Maybe Walmart doesn't sell it. Anyway, it's very common. You're not going to save much money shopping around. I mean, the price, it'll fluctuate, but it'd be so, the differences will be so minimal, it won't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You waste more money paying for gasoline, go and look for it, than you would just buying it. So I noticed that Mathern's has it for $23.99 right now for the big handle bottle. And I know I didn't pay that much. I know that. No, I think it was $21.99. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I kept it on the shelf for a long time too. I just didn't get around to it. Like the John Bar. I got the John Bar right now. Might be the end, before the end of the year. I may not even finish it this year, the way it's going. Okay. I'm so glad to be back to Scotch and off of the Canadian whiskey. I didn't mind Canadian whiskey. I was having a good time with it. That's the truth. I enjoyed it, but I'm just glad to be on Scotch now. My old friend. All right. This little peat. You say, what about smoke? Smoke. When I want Scotch, I want smoke. Yeah, well, may have a hard time with these. There's some residual smoke, but it's such a tiny amount that it doesn't make much sense to even mention it. What's the main aroma? I guess a lot of sharp grain alcohol, which is almost invariably corn, and there is some single malt, which we could think of in our minds as bread dough, like bread dough, raw. It's not been cooked, baked. Sorry, baked. Well, that's a type of cooking. But is it anything exquisite here? No, nah. It just tastes like regular old whiskey, but nothing bad, nothing bad, nothing bad, nothing bad, nothing bad. Nothing exciting, but nothing bad. Let me mark my calendar off. Oh. This will be for Friday, so I can't look at the bottles, the glasses. Friday, checked off. Check. I'm doing that oak leaf tomorrow night for the wine, so for Fandango Friday. So this is going to count for Friday's taste challenge. Okay. Over here. It's got more aroma. Is it smoky? No. It's just the same. It's more aroma, but it's basically the same. It's like a lot of grain alcohol. And I was talking about that with the Canadian whiskey. I was saying, yeah. I said the Rich and Rare Reserve is so much grain alcohol, it screams. It was like rubbing alcohol, you know. You say, what about the peatiness, the composted soil, the terroir, the peatiness? Yeah, they have a little bit of that, but it's not exactly the calling card for this product. You want to know the truth? And I think people that watch these videos want to know the truth. Both of these smell like regular old grain alcohol with a little touch of dough. Are they different too much? Nah. Would I pay a penny more for one over the other? I don't think I would. I'll just shop price. I would shop price. Woo. Whoa. Ouch. Hurt me. You hurt me. But there's that little whiff of smoke. There's a little peak. It's like, ah. Yep. And then it's gone. But you pick up a little smoke, but it's so fleeting. So fleeting. Over here. You don't pick up any smoke, maybe a little cardboard. I didn't say that, though. I didn't say that on the internet. You don't pick up smoke, though. That's sad to say things like that on the air. It did come in my mind, though. All right, let's taste it. If you know how many taste challenges I have to do with grants. Ha! You thought you had me fooled, huh? I got you down where I want you. King Robert II, don't play with me. Do not play with me. You thought you were hiding in there, right? You're wrong. You weren't hiding. That thing's got a lot of smoke. It tastes like pork, smoked pork. Not in the aroma. You see, there was that little whiff. It was like tease, but in the flavor, that's liquid smoke. I know that's you, King Robert. Don't play. Don't hide. Don't deceive, you deceiver. They're pretty blended. You say, well, it's blended whiskey. Yeah, that's what I mean. They're like all mixed together. It does have smokiness. I don't lie. Don't lie. It's pretty mellow. I'm so glad I paid $18.99 and got that big jug bottle. That was a value. Let's go to Grant's. I know it's Grant's already. No, I hadn't checked though, but I'm saying preliminary, preemptive designation. Smell like a compost pile. Hey, you little rat! Who put Cuddy Sark in my? Who put Cuddy Sark in my glass? In my glass. Okay. It's got grain, but there is a lot of single malt dough. You say, you mean it's like bread dough? It is like bread dough. Smoke? Nothing. It's not even a tease of smoke, a hint, a scintilla. There's no smokiness. It's just the grain, the single malt. Oh, little peatiness. Not much. That is so basic. I don't know what you would expect to delineate. You know what I mean? Like you say, I'm going to sit down and make notes. I got a pen and paper. Well, you won't need much pen and you won't need much paper because your notes are going to be about that big. What are you going to say? Huh. Well, this might make trouble for me, but I'm sorry because King Robert II has much deeper, richer, and smokier characteristics. I mean, it's like 100 to 0, but it isn't that high. That's in a relative sense. King Robert II is not that smoky of a whiskey. It is not. But compared to Grant's, it's a smokehouse. Grain alcohol plus dough. Cheers, Ron. $18.95 big jug price. Yeah, $18.99. Low Cuddy. Yeah, tastes like Cuddy Sark. I got a single malt because I couldn't find a date. Jacob, are you drinking alcohol right now while you watch this? Okay, I got to get on that yard. The heat. It's going to be so hot. I don't mind though, really. I said some things about King Robert II in the past that I would maybe want to retract. No, it's not that great. And honestly, 100 Pipers is probably a little more smoky or smokier, with perhaps even more character. But I can get King Robert. I can get 100 Pipers for $8.99 at some stores. And there's no way, if I get a handle bottle, the big plastic bottle of I'm sorry. If I get the big handle bottle of 100 Pipers, 3-year age, there's no way It's gonna cost me no $18.99. It might cost me $16.99, but it'll never cost me more. Does it have a better flavor and character and overall quality than King Robert II? Yes, I'd say so. You say, well, who the hell? I'm sorry, apologize. Who the heck makes 100 Pipers? Chivas Brothers. They introduced it in 1965 as one of their budget whiskeys. There is a 12-year age, which I'm sure I'll never see. But that's another taste challenge. All right. Grants. Oh, I mean, it has things that make it worthwhile. I mean, if you like a lot of bread dough and sweet and sugariness, I think it does those things. It's almost like a crystallized brown sugar. You say, I know that's coming from those bourbon barrels. Yes, probably. But I don't know. If it's a $3 difference, let's say you pay $3 more for the grants. Okay, let's go with that. $3 more. It's not $3 better. Actually, be scared to say it, but actually, it's not as good. You say, what? You're going to sit here on the internet and tell me Grant's blended whiskey is not as good as King Robert II blended? Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. So smoky in a relative sense. So I know what you're going to say. You're one of those smoke heads. Everything going to be smoke. I am a smokehead. I like the smoky appeal of whiskey. I like things that taste like smoked pork. I'm a hophead with ales. I just like it. I just think it tastes better. Now, could you make a counter argument that the grain alcohol and the malts interaction balance roundness overall thing, it's better than the King Robert II, which is just trying to use smoke to obscure the argument? You could say that, but I wouldn't agree with it. Okay, let's look at the comments and I'm going to call it. I know what I'm going to say already. So obvious. Dr. Frosty Bruce says, Baba Booey. Mama Monkey, Baba Booey. Morning Star says, hello there. Ronald, as usual, at working. I'm drinking Harp Irish Lager at the moment. That's a good choice. It's so good, 5%. I like Harp. This lady I go out with sometimes, she called me yesterday. But only for the last 23 years I've been talking to her. But she used to drink Harp back in her drinking days. She could drink. She liked Harp. I liked it too. She said, why are you drinking Schaefer? I say, it's cheap and it's good. G and JK. Ryan says, nobody else goes this in depth. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I guess that's a compliment. Harp is good, says Dr. Frosty Brew. Morning Star says, Ronald is at Nirvana state. I'm not at Nirvana, Cloud 9. It's like watching MMA for ABV. Jacob, MMA for ABV. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. You say, I just want to turn this off. You want to be metaphysical about everything you drink. You want to drink through it. You don't just want to drink it. You want to drink through it. You want it to be experiential. It's got to be a travel, an adventure. You went into the monolith. Why you got to always go into the monolith? You're not Bowman. It's none of those things. But I like to I like to travel with these. Travel. Morningstar. Thank you, Ronald. Though I came late, I'll watch the rest of your stream later on. Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm going to call it. Do I have a problem with grants? No. Do I think it's bad? Oh, no, it's not bad. I wouldn't have given it 89 B plus if it was bad. Is it worthwhile? Oh, yes. Would a person feel bad paying the money for it? No, unless you paid $35, then you're a fool. I just don't take exception to it. I don't have any issues with it. But it doesn't match up to King Robert. Sorry. You say, you smoker. I don't smoke cigarettes. But I know what you're saying. You just want everything to smoke pork. I don't want everything to taste like smoked pork necessarily, but I don't mind it. Mm-mm-mm. I'm not going to go too far because it'll start showing those grain alcohol aspects. It's starting to come in already. You say like rubbing alcohol. Well, I'm going to say King Robert II. And if it says Grants, I'm going to feel foolish. But I know it isn't going to say it. It's not going to say it. It's not going to say Grants. Ha, ha, ha. How you feel, played? Ha, ha, ha. You thought you had me down, but you didn't. I'm like Hulk Hogan. You thought you had me pinned, and then I started to have a convulsion, and I went berserk, and I beat up everybody in the ring. It's NBC. No, Friday night. But you know what I'm saying. Are these two whiskeys similar? Not really. I mean, they come in glass bottles. They're kind of like the same price, more or less. They're cheap. They got no age statement. I know I got to go correct that. They're not going to set anybody's life on a new paradigm. They're just regular old cheap run-of-the-mill blended Scotch whiskeys. But the moral of the story is that they don't all taste the same. And if you believe that, I don't think you're tasting them. Or you're being contentious, that you have a closed mind or something. You have some kind of axe to grind because they don't taste the same. They really don't taste even that similar, to tell you the truth. Now, what's the next one coming up, say Saturday morning? Well, let's see. Oh, boy. Just think about me when you're... All right, just caught this while I was watering the lawn. Cheers. Yeah, I'm about to go cut the grass. What was the best lager beer you ever tried, says Morningstar. Best lager beer? Oh, probably Staropramen. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Pilsner Urquell. I know somebody's going to jump in here tomorrow. It's a Pilsner, not a lager. You better go read your materials. All right. I got Inverhouse coming up. Now, Daniel Newman, who does videos from Pennsylvania, he calls it Iverhouse. And I watch his videos and I like them. But it's not Ivor. There's an N. It's Inver. House. I'm going to use phonics. It's a real brand. It's not a store brand. Been on the market since about 1961. I have to check my dates, but it's something like that. Very rare. Yeah, it's really rare. Not exactly. I think Inverhouse is not going to present a whole lot. But then, of course, Grants ain't presenting a whole lot. So it could be a tie, which means Inverhouse would win by a clear margin, because Inverhouse, I can get this liter bottle for $10.99. And ain't no way All right. The next one up, Sunday morning. Oh my goodness. Now we're really cutting it close. Highland Mist, pale dry. It is pale and dry. Now that's no lie. They're right about that. But they left two adjectives out. You know, dull and bland and cheap. It's a real brand. It's been on the market since, I don't know. I forget, like 1956 or 61. I don't know. In 1961, everybody wanted to put out a new brand. Chicago, Illinois. Well, it's made in Scotland, but they bottle it in Chicago. Oh my goodness. I paid $6.49 for this bottle. You say $6.49. Wow, you're living large now, aren't you? Yeah. But my feeling about it is that those two lowlifes are going to do much better than we believe. And that's going to teach us a lesson. You think Grant's is, well, actually, I never heard anybody say Grant's is all that. But you think Grant's is going to beat them? I would be a little hesitant to be out there making those declarative statements. I would only be comfortable saying something like, well, it might be marginally better. But then when you consider the price point, it might be marginally worse. All right. Anyway, I got a lot of these Scotch taste challenges to do, and you might be saying, oh, no, I can't bear it. I'm sorry, but they're coming. They're coming out. I thought beers are your favorite drink, says Morningstar. Beers are my favorite drink. It's probably coffee. Probably coffee is my favorite drink. Thanks for watching this video production, all y'all.